We're helping parents navigate and move through this maze called schools and the special education experience. So someone has somebody on the inside helping them, somebody who's helping them create a strategic plan, someone who's there who could go over the information, the evaluations and the assessments and all the other educational documents and put it in terms of a everyday language that people could understand. That's what we do through our consultation. The second thing that we do is many times people feel like they're overwhelmed by the process. So they need someone to sit with them at the meetings, someone who could walk the process with them and be able to know that, you know, Larry is with us and he's got it covered. So we could go through these meetings, but we have Larry right there because he'll be asking the right question. He'll be making sure that the people are kind of moving in the path that they're needing to, and all they really have to do is focus on their child and their kid, rather than juggling all these different balls. And that's one thing that we're able to do. Most people, when they come to our services, they hit a frustration point, they've hit a place where they're just fed up to hear, and often on the other side, you have school teachers and employees and district and personnel who are also at that same place of frustration. So what we bring to the table is this new platform where we're focusing on mutual understanding. It's really critical to make sure that all players are putting ego, personal issues, agendas off to the side, and we're creating this new platform, and it's called mutual understanding. The second piece, and it's so important, is we're building interventions based upon what already works. If a child is successful in one environment or one setting at home, that child should also be successful in school or vice versa. The other thing that we're trying to do is build a new context, and that framework is that every child is really a gift. And we're allowing that gift, that talent to just sort of unfold. Parents are primarily at a place of anger, frustration. There's grief, especially if someone just got a new diagnosis. They heard for the first time that their child has ADHD or autism or cerebral palsy or whatever it may be. And these emotions are intense. It's almost to the point where it's like nuclear fuel, rocket fuel. And so our job on the advocate side is to just, number one, be there and help people know that we're listening and we're there and we're present. Number two is we could take that energy, we could take that nuclear rocket fuel and help parents channel it in a positive way. One of the first things I do is after I, either through the email or through the phone call, I make the connection, I really want to know what brings them to this place where they're making this initial first step. So I'm going to be spending time just listening, asking a few questions, but more so is what brings you to this place where you feel a need to call an advocate. So it's just a matter of listening. Usually in that phone call, after a few minutes, people then just kind of feel comfortable, and then what we do is we start looking at their child. And that could be everything as informal as, tell me more about your kid. What does she like to do? What does he like to do at home or at school? Or it might be spending time talking about a diagnosis or a disability and what other information they might have. Usually the follow-up conversations, that's when I ask for things like evaluations, documents, IEP forms, and different kinds of material that people might have from school or from clinicians on the outside. Then we'll look at those things. But the initial call is really about a chance for people really expressing, here's my concern. And then finding also a little bit about what does an advocate do and how could you help us? So my job is to help people understand how I could help.